Here, yo, you better watch UK. Hey, come on, chill. Get over with him here, okay? Okay, dude, get out the car out. The car got to go to the hospital one. The body cam footage from the night King Von died surfaced. It didn't just show what happened. It exposed a hidden truth. Von's cousin, Bo, claimed Theraper's own security let him charge into the street and straight into that fight, and right after that same guard vanished and wiped his entire Instagram clean. Security guard let him walk. Used. Pay to you, he get paid to protect. How do you let him walk over and fight? You ain't supposed to let him fight. He ain't supposed to be touching nobody. Security guard, if anything, yo make sure. Quando them leave, whoever else they was with, yo make sure they leave. How you let him walk over somebody? That's the reason he'll. Hear the reason, everybody in this parking lot here. Because this man right here making the money, and y'all his entourage, that security guard it's sunfish with him. That's why he deleted his Instagram. I read. I definitely feel like it's foul play. I don't know where right's coming from, but I think it's weird going on with the security deleting his Instagram the next day later. No one's seen him since. This resulted in a threat of evidence coming out. It reads, "There's a lot of holes in the passing of King Von if you truly investigate it. Tool. Notice it? If anything, he would bait one to fake his death for all the murder cases he was about to face." After King Von's death, shocking claims began to surface linking him directly to FBG Duck's murder, with reports saying he paid Oblock members $100K and gifted Diamond Oblock chains to carry out the hit. And that wasn't all. Multiple Chicago murders were allegedly to him, as highlighted in Trap Laura's viral King Von documentariates. When people close to the situation started tweeting crypty things, Von made it through to surgery. Had 3 surgeries though. He made it to 2 surgeries. And then, after this surgery, he hopped off the bed and started fighting the nurse and said where his gun at, and he went into shock. So he was 2 surgeries. How hours later? Kayla know about some yam he fought the nurses. The one told me that his mama didn't even known that. How you knowing what's going on inside the hospital that quicks was their king. Von didn't die right away. He was still breathing after these shots even made it to the hospital holding on. But now that this detail is out, everyone's asking the same thing. How did Bowie know 2 years ago that Vogan was armed that night at the King Von situation? Like there was absolutely no reason for Von Toto be rolling around with that dude liquid there. Was no, especially since he had security. Like, someone should have jumped in it. It should have never vanking. But I almost feel like if you had real security, all them post lad, I feel like they would have been more ready in Chicago. Sad man, sad. I mean, the whole King Van thing is really kind of fang, right? Now that's where the story starts getting messy. The deeper you dig into King Von's death, the more cracks begin to show, and suddenly the truth becomes harder. Toiner on November 5, 2020. King Von and his crew hit up a club in Atlanta to celebrate the release of his album Welcome to Oblock. It was supposed to be a night of wins, a moment to toast his rise in the game, but no one could have predicted how the night would actually end. Van understood what came with famith jealousy, the danger the eyes always watching. So when he pulled up to that club, he didn't come alone. He rolled deep with 25 people, a mix of close friends and hired security, all meant to keep him safe. We even heard his manager speak before about how serious Von was when net came to security, and how calculated. Always tried to be one security that moves with Von, and he travel with 2 more security. You know what I'm saying? Von travel in a proof truck, and not only that, his guys are security man hetravels with 10 to 15 guys. Daily they protect and love Von more than any security. We're like, I think, about 8-10 cars deep, our 2025 ownage. But later in the night some, as the night wore on, some thing changed in King Von Hestered, acting out of character, risking everything. The club scene in Atlanta had been smooth, but by 2:30 a.m. The party slowed down and his crew began heading back to the hotel that was the Planentel. Van suddenly switched it up. Mine leaving the club, is that we're going to Airbnb. 'Cause that's normal routine that club, he went to the after hours, wasn't getting paid for. I didn't have no acknowledgement of his team, that of no acknowledgement of that was a complete. While his crew headed back, Tuth Hotel Van gave his driver a new order, take him to a different spot, the Monaco lounge that was with US driving tow the Airbnb, and Van literally went Tuth venue by himself. It's we got a calendar from people in the car, like hey bro. We hear by matter of fact, I think from his DJ was like hey bro, you know where her, by ourselves, like where you guys. Altoned everybody rerouted to that strange Alina one in Van's truck. Told the rest oft crew where they were headed, no tuntal, they were already pulling up at Monaco. That forced everyone else to double back and rush over, but when they arrived, Van's manager felt something was off. Instead of jumping out to party, Van sat in the truck completely silent for 30 minutes, a glart, Paige, Dane, boss, I'm ready, some reason. Van wasn't himself. This man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life. For some reason that night it was off like who. He stayed in the car for like after a long pause. Van finally gave the nod to go inside, but before he stepped out, this team sent in security. First, just to sweep the place and make sure everything was clear. I went to the car he was in. I was like, yo Van. Went inside the passenger seat. I'm like, yo, Van bro, hat's going on. Like everybody here waiting, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. We're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now, Van's ready. You know what I'm saying, we've been here too long, let's go inside the club. They check the venue, go into the check the outside, make sure there's let. No, but the real threat wasn't inside, it was waiting outside in the parking lot. Quandorando and his crew were parked in their own vehicle nearby. And that's when one of Van's guys spotted them and rushed to tell him right before we go inside the club. One of his own boys. He came to the car and said, hey, so-and-so's here. And Van just jumped up like, oh come on, let's go. Without hesitation, King Van jumped out of the car and marched straightward. Quando he circled the front off their vehicle, and then, just like that, started swinging on him, jumped up, jumped out. The car, by the time Van jumped out, the car, I don't even think he knew where so. And so was he just jumped out the car, bumped into so-and-so. As soon he bumped into so-and-so, started the fight erupted fast within seconds. Wando's boy El Tim came around the back of the white car and opened fire. He shot Van 4 times and hit his manager in the leg. It all happened in under 5 seconds. Van's crew fired back, chaos exploding on both sides. Then things got worse. 20 officers heard the gunshots and pulled up, letting off rounds into that crowd. Both crews scattered for cover. Buton of Van's people went down unthroughout. Al Van never let go of Quando. He held him down using his body as a shield. Did he try to take Van Shane or honest truth? I don't think Broy had no jewelry on, and from Thepi Paul. That I was a little bit closer. Van was actually holding on to him like, Matt, you ain't going nowhere, like Joe Heel. Like even through getting he's thought strong, like he was literally holding. As the chaos died down, Wando's crew scrambled into their cars and rushed Lil Tim to the hospital. Meanwhile, Van's closest friend, Moap Renento, the street scooped and off the ground and carried him to the getaway vehicle. Even after taking 4 bullets, Van stayed awake, trying to keep his people calm, still cracking small words of encouragement through the pain. Was in the car. I myself wasn't there. The gentleman that was in the car with him, with panicking, and Vaughn was the one that was like, hey, calm down, slow down, chill 'em. I'm going to be good. Just get me to the hospital. And honest truth, we all thought that the way he was carrying himself from that incident, from what Ty was told from the people in the car, thought that after reaching the hospital, King Von was taken straight into emergency surgery despite efforts Tosavi him, he didn't survive the operation. His death hit hard, and the second it broke. The entire rap scene was rocked to its core headlines, as officials sconfered one of the three people was rapper King Von from Chicago, who washer last night with friends to groups of individuals. Got into a physical altercation. That physical altercation escalated, and King Von's death did he just shake the industry. It shattered da block. Now even visiting his mural comes with risk. People have to move careful. I'll danger always watching. Get out, walk over, and see this little vine. This viney picture, I know it's a lot of ops on the CM. Letting y'all see where I'm at. Why is this black truck still right here? Men, watch that truck right there over on Quando's side. Liltum survived his wounds and was hit with charges for Van's death the very next day. But in the end, the case was Tacitus. Legal team argued it was self-defense. Still, those close to Von weren't buying it, and in the months that followed, whispers started a Madra hit was coming, and Quando's crew was the target. Now the search is on for three people who police at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage Ethapant in Los Angeles, and cameras Capnot, long after Quando's close friend Lil Pub was gunned down, and the camerasco Quando's reaction in real time. Pain on his face said it all. The war wasn't over. These man, a passenger in that car Fronticat. The but things escalated when Dirk dropped a line that made everything 10 times worse. They think Dirk just sing sh ain't going to slide. Believe what yow and I had your people touched, and another track even colder. Turn on the news, watch your Sonyelno. Those bars didn't just spark on a versi, they sparked an investigation.